Hey guys, it's your favorite gymnast Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson here. So earlier this year in I think it was like February, I made a video called "The Most Chaotic Day of My Life." And then a couple months later, which was only like 2 weeks ago at this point, I made "The Most Chaotic 3 Days of My Life," which was just the same thing except times 3. Now, I'm making kind of part 3 of that, which is the most fun day of my life. Enjoyable. I don't know what I'm going to title this, but you know, whatever the title says. And this day, wait, what day is it? It is Wednesday. So this was 5 days ago. So it's kind of late, but it's also kind of not late. I don't know. But this day that I'm talking about was the last day of school. So the first... It just started raining. Like, right when I clicked record, it just started raining. Okay, why did I missed the pause button again? Okay, now you're going to be hearing rain in the background and possibly thunder, but that's not the point. But yeah, the first, probably hour or so happened as any other day would, really. I got up at, I think it was 6:30, because I always get up at 6:30, and it's always, 6:30 and stuff. So I got up, and then, oh, my mom texted me, hold up. Anyway, but the last day of school, it was a Friday, and it was a half day. And it was also, the last day of school, so, probably half the school just didn't show up, so that was the first thing. Second, there were so many times in my classes, I don't think there was a single class where, there wasn't at least one person that left or came to our class just because they could. Just, you can get a pass from your original teachers, just go to a different class. I have 7 classes, I did that twice, and every single one of my classes had at least, one person come in. Because, I don't we just meet, we go through all 7 periods, but, we just meet each other, in whatever periods their friends are in, you know? Chemistry, there were actually, 30 people in the room, but, half of them weren't even in our chemistry class. They had just come because we have a lot of people in our room. I mean, not room. Comp sci, a lot of people left our comp sci. There were, 8 people in the room, so I just played Uno with, 5 people for the entire class. Health, I have, 3 good friends in health, but then there was another, 4 that just came to our health class. So there were 8 people in my health class, so that was fun. People that I'm good friends with, I mean. Total, there was probably just 12, and I knew 3/4 of them. Thirds, I'm dumb. And then period 4, I had English, but A, we had a sub, and B, I didn't stay in English because I went to Brian's engineering class. So that was kind of cool. I just left, I got a pass from the teacher of the sub, and I just left, so that was nice. Lunch was normal, we just did lunch things. And in band, a bunch of people came to our class, and we played football, which was, it was fun, but it was also 94 degrees, so that was great. In period 7, A-push. Fun fact, actually, I'm really lucky that I have A-push right after band, which is period 6, because I played football and band, and in A-push, in the back of the room, there's a shelf with an air conditioner on it. I can just sit on the air conditioner like this, doing this to my shirt so that the cold air goes up my shirt, and after exercising in 94-degree weather for half an hour, that felt very nice. Period 8, which I had math. But we're not doing anything in any of our classes. Obviously, math, we're not doing anything either. So I just got a pass from my teacher and went to band again, where I played football in 94-degree weather again. Second time in, 3 period. Yeah, so I did it, I cooled off, and then I immediately did it again. But, then it ended, and because it was a half day, our classes ended at 11:20, I think. So me, and I think there were 7 total people. So me and 6 of my friends, originally 7, went to my house after school. It was originally supposed to be a sleepover on the last day of school at my house, where people would come at 3 or 4 or something, but then my parents canceled it because I got grounded because I'm stupid. I'm just dumb. I lied, there were not 7 people originally, there were 6, but then, okay, so the 6 original people, me, Brian, Sebastian, Jessica, Rashab, and Saf, they all came to my house originally. Then Arturo came because he had a job interview. Wait, did Arturo come first or did Karan? I don't even, hold up. No, it was Arturo, I think. I don't know, that could be a lie, but yeah. Then Arturo came, then Brian left, then Karan came. Yeah, so that was kind of, I don't know, cool, I guess. The 2 people in our friend group that weren't really there for any part of the day was Daniel, because he was in I don't know, he was in some place for something. He was recently broken out of prison by Jessica. Prison. So he was in prison, apparently. The other one was Cole. I don't even know why we didn't invite him. Well, I mean, I think we did invite him, he just couldn't go. I don't know, there was just something, he was never there, so that's F, sorry. After 4 hours, we kind of got bored, because we had a whole ping pong tournament of the gods, which by the way, I went 4-0 in. The games went to overtime, and I won all 3 of them. I'm so clutch. I'm so clutch in late game in ping pong, it's unreal. And then everyone who was there, we all went to Harris Teeter. So we just kind of went to Harris Teeter, and we just kind of stayed inside the store for an hour, because we bought stuff from that, and we were eating it and stuff and just talking. And throughout this time, Karan left, and then either Jessica or Steph. I don't remember what order. I don't even remember if Karan was first. But the three of them left sometime when we were at Harris Teeter. So at the end, it was probably like 4 p.m. or yeah, I'd probably say around 4 p.m. by this time. And it was just me, Sebastian, Arturo, and Rashab were the only ones that were still remaining. The four of us stayed together for like the next 5 hours. None of us had anywhere else to go. Our parents didn't care. It was the last day of school. They were gonna let their kids roam free. So yeah, we just stayed together for another 5 hours. We were in like Dunkin' Donuts for like probably over an hour. Like everyone, we were in Harris Teeter, and then everyone started leaving, and then we left Harris Teeter. No, Jessica was the last one to leave because we left Harris Teeter to like drop off Jessica, and then when she was gone, it was just us four left. And so we were all already outside, so we went to Dunkin' Donuts, and then we stayed in there for like an hour and a half. The thing we talked about actually was like fitness stuff. Like when it's just the four of us, apparently, we can actually have like a serious conversation. Like if Brian was there, we would not be able to do that because like any combination of our friend group where me and Brian are both there, we're not going to be able to have like a serious conversation. But because it was just me, Sebastian, Arturo, and Rashab, apparently that four, people, apparently that works pretty well. We were talking about like, Arturo was the one who like started talking about like he had like a whole fitness plan for this summer and he was telling us about it, and then everyone else was kind of getting into stuff like that too, like just fitness in general and like kind of like healthy eating habits. But Sebastian, I remember he told us about a 6-month cycle that he has for his eating habits. He eats healthy for 1 month and then doesn't care and eats unhealthy for 2 months. And then starves himself for 3 months. And it's just an ongoing cycle that's been going on for like at least a few years for him. And he kind of hates it, but it just happens. It's raining already, by the way. Arturo was talking about that. Sebastian was talking about, that. And Rashab was like the one who kind of suggested like we make like a fitness group. Because he was he's the only one that actually like does track and stuff. And we were all talking about running, but he already does track. And we were saying like we might just go on runs together when we're bored. Like, just in the middle of the summer, like, I don't know, just because we can and why not, and it's healthy, so that's kind of cool. We could do that. Fortunately, like, the four of us met up, and, like, 2 days later, Sebastian was in Colombia and Rashab was in New York, so there were only 2 of us left. And my parents just got home. I can hear the garage door opening. I'm gonna resume whenever I can. I'll be in my room. I'm not gonna lie, it's been like an hour, and I just got my new drum pad. Let's go. Alright, you ready for this? That was really bad, but hold on, wait, I'm gonna do a pancake. Ready for this? Cool. That's about it for the drum pad of the day. That pancake was perfect first try. That was nice. Anyway, what was I talking about? I was up to the part where we were like, me, Rashab, Arturo, and Sebastian were talking about stuff in Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, I'm just gonna resume from there. We were just talking about fitness stuff for like an hour and a half, and it was kind of cool, just like different types of things. And we were talking about like going to the gym or whatever, running together and stuff. We made a group chat too, so that's kind of cool. Just the four of us, and we called it Gym Bros, because I don't know why not. Anyway, after that, we left Dunkin' Donuts after like a little bit over an hour probably. And Sebastian lives like right next to Dunkin' Donuts, so we walked to his house. It took like less than a minute. And Rashab needed to charge his phone, so we were just outside for probably like another 20 minutes while Rashab's phone was charging inside of Sebastian's house. We were talking about how terrible MCPS was with dealing with COVID. At the start of the year, they said if the school gets 5% cases, we're gonna close. And then we lasted a few months and it was fine, but then for some reason, like, it was like right before winter break, everything just kind of blew up, and we reached 5% cases, and then they didn't close the school. They changed it to 10% cases because they didn't think they would have, they thought, because it was like 2 days before winter break, and they didn't think we would reach 10% in 2 days. We did. We reached 10% in 2 days. Actually, I think it was 1 day. And then they said, oh, you know what? Screw that. We don't need that. We're just going to get rid of that limit. We can go to school with 20% cases. That's fine. Yeah, so we were talking about that and how dumb it was. A bunch of other stuff, too. Then Arturo, when he came to my house, we walked to Harris Teeter, right? When Arturo biked to my house, and his bike was still locked to the tree that was in my yard, so we walked back to my house, which took probably like 15 minutes. And originally I think we were just planning to like split up once we got there and like call it a day or whatever. But then when we actually got there, we just kind of stood in my driveway and kept talking for like another half an hour. What were we talking about on the way to my house and at my house, you ask? Well, violent crime in Jacksonville. Because apparently Arturo's dad used to be a prison guard, and he told Arturo a bunch of stories about it. So Arturo was telling us a bunch of stories about his dad's experience as a prison guard that his dad had told him. And what in the world? Outside my room, I heard like 4 doors open and close in like 4 seconds. That was confusing. We were actually having like an educated, like justified conversation about violent crime in Jacksonville for like an hour. It seems like a very random topic, but there was actually a lot to talk about, and it was pretty funny, but like, yeah, cool, so that happened, I guess. Then we were bored, so we just went to Rashab's house and played football for 2 hours. Started with Moss, and then we like kind of made up a game after. Like, there were 4 people, right? we had like a rotating thing where 3 people would be on and 1 person would be on the bench, and just like the person who was on the bench okay, let me try to explain. The game, the people on would be 1 quarterback, 1 receiver, and 1 defender, and the receiver and defender would like switch, but the quarterback would stay permanent. Like the quarterback would throw 6 passes, right? 3 of them were to each one, like the defender and the receiver. He would throw 3 passes to the receiver, and then the defender would try to stop it, and then the receiver and defender would switch, and the quarterback would throw 3 passes to the new receiver, who was just the defender. Out of those 3 passes, whoever caught the most would win and stay on, and then the quarterback would become the person facing the receiver, and the person on the bench would become the QB, and the person who lost the receiver versus defender thing would be the person on the bench. You probably didn't understand anything what I said, but I know that Sebastian, Arturo, and Rashab get it, but no one else probably does because of the terrible job explaining it. But you know, it was pretty fun. We did it for like an hour and a half, and I probably finally went home probably at like 9:30, I think it was. I went to school for probably when does school so 7:30 to 11, so I went to school for 4 hours about, and then after school was done, I was with my friends for 10 hours straight. So that was pretty fun. So just the thing you might have like missed is like, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, no, I remember what I was gonna say. Like we came to my house after school, which is like here. Let's say my house is here, and then we went to Harris Teeter, which is here, and then we went to Rashab's house, which is here. So like our whole path was like, so from the high school we came to my house, Harris Teeter, and then we came back to my house, past my house to Rashab's house. So like we had like 10 hours, so you know, we could do whatever we wanted. So Sebastian somehow got like a perfect SpongeBob popsicle. Like they were just an ice cream truck besides like the pool for some reason that we found on the way to Rashab's house, I think, yeah. And then Sebastian got like a one of those SpongeBob popsicles, and we were expecting like it to be completely demented because they always are, but it was like perfect. It was so weird. Another random thing I've noticed, Jessica has a very special talent for falling asleep. There have now been 2 times where she was in a group, like she was with a group of like 6 other teenage boys making a lot of noise, and I mean a lot, like we're never quiet. There have been 2 instances, only that I've seen, there might be more, but that I was there with a bunch of my friends and she was also there, and both times she's fallen asleep, like twice at least. The other one was Brian's sleepover, where everyone was like going insane over, I think it was Brian and Arturo. No, was it Brian and Cole? No, it was Brian and Arturo. They were playing Cuphead and everyone was like going insane over it and screaming every 5 seconds. She fell asleep sitting on the couch that everyone else was sitting on. I don't know how. And she did it like 3 times too. And then at my house, we were having a ping pong tournament of the gods that I went 4-0 in, by the way. And she kept falling asleep. And I'm just like, how? Like, I've just noticed that. I don't know. And then one time we woke her up by shooting Nerf guns at her, so that was pretty fun. Anyway, this after school, last day of school, gets 10 watermelons out of 8 cucumbers. Read that line from High Boy. Well, let's see, are there any other just random notable things I can say? We're actually for a bit talking about violent crime in Pennsylvania, comparing it to violent crime in Florida. Like, they're both wild, but apparently Pennsylvania is actually wilder, according to Arturo. I mean, I guess he would know because his dad's a prison guard, but you know. Ron killed me again by doing the hand of death. Don't ask what that is. Yeah, if there's anything else of note, it is currently slipping my mind. Pretty sure there actually is, like, one other thing that I wanted to say. No, I don't think there is, because I was gonna talk about, like, one thing. Actually, 2. Actually, 3. Okay, you know what? Hold up. Ignore everything I said in the past 15 seconds. Don't know what happened there. That's irrelevant. Yeah, this video is now over. Hope you enjoyed this dramatic retelling of one of, if not the most fun, singular days of my life. Just hanging out with my friends for 10 straight hours. I mean, if you include school, it was 14, really, so I guess it was 14. I had friends in every one of my classes because I kept switching classes or people kept switching into my class. So, yeah, so it's 14 hours, actually. And, at the end of the day, I think it's really safe to say that that's about it. Snare solo. I'm gonna do a stick flip because I can. Cool, I just did 2.5 stick flips. I don't know, that was probably terrible, but whatever. That's about it. See ya.